Assalamu alaikum everybody. This is Dr. Shahid Khokhar and today we will talk about lecture 20 for the subject of operations and supply chain management. As you know, we are discussing the second chapter of our textbook, which is about process, strategy, and analysis. And in this chapter, we have discussed that how you can effectively design the process of your organization. So let's formally start today's lecture, which is talking about the strategies for change, or you can say strategies for the change of a process in the organization. If you talk about the strategies, there are two main strategies which any organization can use for changing the process. And first one is called process re-engineering and second one is called process improvement. These two strategies actually work complementarily in the organization in order to perform the processes of the company. So first we will talk about the process re-engineering and then we will see how a process improvement can help an organization. So if you talk about process re-engineering, as you can see in your slides, that the definition of process re-engineering is the fundamental rethinking and radical redesign of processes to improve performance dramatically in terms of cost, quality, service, and speed. So if you try to make it in simple words, so you can say that process re-engineering means when you are changing the process in a fundamental way, or you can say that you are redesigning the process altogether from scratch. So once you are performing the process re-engineering, it involves the rethinking and redesigning of the process, और इसमें जो ऑब्जेक्टिव है वो है परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ द प्रोसेस उसको इंक्रीज करना. You want to increase the performance of the process, so that's why you are using the process re-engineering. And how you can increase the performance? You can increase performance in four ways, like you can reduce the cost, or you can improve the quality, or you can improve the service, and at the same time you can improve the speed at which the process is being carried out. So that was the basic concept about the process re-engineering. In the next slide, we will see what are the important factors which an organization needs to consider while performing the process re-engineering. Moving on, here he is talking about that these are the areas which needs to be considered once a company has decided that it will re-engineer the process. And what are those areas? We will go through one by one. First one, he is talking about that it is involved with the critical processes. As you have studied in your chapter 1, that you can divide an organization into two kinds of processes. First one are called core or the critical processes, and second one is called support processes. So here I am trying to say that you will apply the process re-engineering for the core processes because these are the major processes which are responsible for the performance of an organization. And for the support processes, you can use the process improvement strategy about which we will talk about later on. So here the first thing you should consider is that you will apply the process re-engineering on the core processes, and I am hopeful you know what are the core processes like supplier management, supplier relationship management, or the product development and order fulfillment and customer relationship management. So these are the four core processes which you have already studied in chapter 1. The next point is about the strong leadership. So here he is talking about once a company has decided to re-engineer the process, so in order to implement the re-engineering, an organization needs strong leadership by the management. Why an organization needs strong leadership? Because normally employees resist the change, and if any company is going to change the existing processes, there are very high chances that there will be a resistance from the employees. So that resistance can be overcome with the help of strong leadership, and this strong leadership will actually provide the reasons of the change to their fellow workers. Moreover, they will justify why we need this change and how this change will benefit to the organization. So a strong leadership can emphasize on these things, and they will easily implement the process re-engineering. The next important point is the cross-functional teams. If you talk about cross-functional teams, it means such teams which belongs to the different departments, or you can say a team comprising on the members from different departments of an organization. So here he is talking about that we should make the cross-functional teams while designing and implementing the process re-engineering strategy, so that we can have a feedback from each department that what are the problems they are facing, and at the same time they can give their input about the future problems which a company can face in the process of process re-engineering. So we can say that you should make a cross-functional teams in order to implement the process re-engineering. The next point is called the information technology. Here the idea is that with the help of IT you can easily implement the process re-engineering concept, particularly those processes where you are dealing with the information. For example, you are directly dealing with the information once you are handling the order fulfillment process, or at the same time you are dealing with the information once you are handling the customer relationship management process. So such kind of processes, since involve the information, and the handling of information can be much easier with the help of the information technology. So if any company wants to implement the process re-engineering, they are highly recommended to use the information technology. The next point is about the clean slate philosophy. And what does it mean by clean slate? It means that once you are redesigning the process and once you are changing the process fundamentally, so you should consider that what are the ideal situation by which this process can be carried out. You should not try to just make corrections in the existing process, but you are supposed to make changes as you are designing a new process for the company. So clean slate philosophy actually emphasizes that you should re-engineer the process without having any previous baggage associated with the process. And the next and the last step is the process analysis. Process analysis means that before redesigning, you should analyze the current process, that how it is being carried out and where there is a need of the improvements, which we will make, and then we can make the changes according to the desired situation. So process analysis is the very important step, and in the next lecture we will see that how the process analysis can be carried out and why it is so important for the process strategy and process analysis. So next we will talk about the process improvement strategy, which is the second type of the strategies for change. So move on. Process improvement. As you can see in your slides, the definition of the process improvement is the systematic study of the activities and flow of each process to improve it. Again, the objective of this strategy is to improve the performance of the process. And once you are applying this strategy, before applying this strategy, you will study the activities and flows. Flows means the movement of the process, that what activity will come first and what activity will come second. So these flows and activities are studied systematically. And what does it mean by systematically? It means that you will use the scientific methods for the study of the processes. And as you are already know, the objective is to improve the performance of the process. So how the process improvement is different from process re-engineering? In this, you are not redesigning or rethinking about the process, you are just finding out the improvement areas of in the existing process and then fulfill those weaknesses and improve the performance of the process. So that was the concept about the process improvement. In this lecture, we have talked about the strategies for change. If you have any question regarding this lecture, please feel free to make a comment in Google Classroom, or you may can contact with your co-teacher for a better explanation. Thank you so very much. See you next time.